Gosh, it's a bit cold today again. Hi guys, and welcome back to today's video. If you watched my last haul, you may have heard me say that I was going to be uploading just a beauty video today. I thought I was going to be uploading my empties. Turns out I'm uploading my empties next week, so do stay tuned if that is something you're interested in. But today I wanted to kind of give you my April roundup, my beauty favourites, all the books that I've read, not necessarily my favourites, just the ones that I've read. I want to talk a little bit about what I've been watching as well, and actually I've even got some style favourites, just that sort of thing. Hopefully you enjoy this video. If you do enjoy it, let me know, because I can make this a more regular thing, and I think personally I'd quite like to film that, so let me know. Put my tea down. So I have a couple of beauty favourites, actually quite a few, more than I initially had. The first thing I'm going to start with is the Bumble & Bumble BB Thickening Go Big Treatment. This is a mist that you use in your hair. As you can tell, I have very fine hair, and so I need all the help I can get when it comes to volume. I always use some sort of volumizing product in my hair. I feel like I have been really hating my hair over the last 6 months or so. I do think my hair got a little bit thinner, but more recently I think it's kind of back to its regular self, which is thin but not as thin as it was about 6 months ago. I just feel like sometimes I use a product that weighs it down, whereas this I have just been really loving. I've had this for really long, but I've just got around to using it more recently. In my head this was really sticky, because I think in the past I have used Bumble & Bumble products that have been really sticky, but this isn't. You can kind of hear it's quite a thick liquid. I'm not going to say it's not sticky at all, it might be a tiny bit, but I don't have any issues brushing my hair when I use it. I just feel like I'm much happier with my hair recently since I started using this, so I would definitely recommend it. I think it's £29, which isn't cheap, but I do find that it lasts a really long time. And what I do is I wash my hair, I then put oil in my hair, always, because my hair does get very knotty. Brush that through, spray this through the roots and the mid-lengths and ends, because I just kind of need everything to be plumped out, rough dry, and then actually more recently I've just been rough drying, and then I just add curls in after, and I just find that that has been working quite well for me. On from that, I have the Milani bronzer. Oh, admittedly mine has seen better days. I just feel like it's one of those products that gets grubby. This is, I think, £13, something along those lines. It is not the biggest product, it's 6 grams, but for that price I just think it's great. It's the bronzer I've got on today. It's quite warm toned, but I don't really mind that. I just think packaging wise it's just so fuss free, really easy to travel with, and just a product that I'm very happy using. I've now started using this way more than my Chanel. My Chanel is almost finished. My Chanel Solder Tan, I don't know what it's called. I do also really want to try the number 7 one. That's on my to try list. I probably will try that over the next couple of months, I think. But I just think even just having your handbag, that is so lovely and thin. Then onto my nails. I can't show you them too closely because this hand in particular is a bit messy, but this one is okay. I have mentioned before, I really have been loving not getting my nails done. I did get a pedicure last month, but my hand nails, I just feel like I have to go in too often. I'm just not enjoying going in to get my nails done. I would really love to hear if you get your nails done every single time, or if you sometimes just have bare nails, or if sometimes you paint your nails yourself. I would love to know that. I think just because of everyone that I'm around, I assume everyone always gets their nails done, but that's probably not the case. I'm not sure. I'm really genuinely curious, so please do let me know. At the moment, I think I'm the only person that I know that is painting my own nails. I think that's A, because I feel like I've got decent skills when it comes to nail painting, and B, just because I used to always go and get them done, but now I'm just not enjoying it. So the products I have been using, I have found the perfect red polish in my opinion. If you have a cool skin tone like I do, this is a Nail Brie nail lacquer in the colour Rouge. It is just the perfect slightly pink red. I just truly love this. On my toes, for example, the red is just a little bit orange. It just doesn't really suit me. What I've been using as a base coat and a top coat have been these two products, and I find that my nails last about 10 days. This time I have a chip. I just think I rushed it this time. So you see my cuticles, that's what kind of messes up my nails a little bit. This time I got a bit of a chip, but I think I didn't apply the top coat well enough. I use the Margaret Dabs base coat and the Essie Gel Couture top coat. You don't have to cure or anything like that. It's just like a shiny top coat. These two together with basically any polish, I find my polishes last about 10 days. Yeah, I would say 10 days. But this colour, just really love it. I cannot recommend this colour enough. I did previously use the Miracle Gel by Sally Hansen in the colour Rhapsody Red, and you can tell that they're similar, but this is just that little bit better in my opinion. It's like almost slightly brighter than the Rhapsody Red. If you can't find this one, because I feel like Nailbury isn't as easily accessible as Sally Hansen, this is good, but this god tier colour in my opinion. Then concealers. I have kind of felt like I haven't found the perfect concealer for ages, but then I've been mixing two and really loving it. I kind of find it a bit annoying when people say that they mix stuff like concealers or mascaras, because it then means you have to buy two products. But maybe what I'm saying here is that I do like these two, but if you're not like loving a product, maybe mix them together and that might make them even better. And I think maybe it's even a colour issue rather than a consistency issue, because I have Brighten Up Concealer by Sculpted by Amy, a brand I truly love. Actually, both these two brands up there in my top 5. This is just a little bit light for me, I think. You can probably tell just there. And then I mix that with the Hourglass Vanish Concealer in the colour Fawn. This is another favourite. If you guys follow Katie J. Hughes on TikTok, or maybe Instagram, but I follow her on TikTok, she talks about priming a brush, which is where you really push your product into your brush, something like a concealer or any kind of cream product, to be honest. Push the colour into your brush and then you kind of run it wherever you need it. And I just think the finish I have been getting has been so much better than what I used to get when I used to just swipe it onto my face. My makeup's a tiny bit cakey. I probably should have powdered before I sat down to film this. I feel like I just get the amount of product that I need rather than too much. So I would definitely recommend those two concealers, mixing concealers, and also just priming a brush whenever you're applying any sort of liquid product, whether that be a blush, a bronzer, even eyeshadow, like anything, kind of building it into that brush. Admittedly, I do think you kind of use a little bit more product in that it doesn't go on your face, but I just feel like you get a much nicer finish, so I would definitely recommend that. Two other products quickly. Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Bum Bum Cream. I have had this so long and I never thought I'd put it in a favourites, because I can see the hype. I totally see the hype around it. It really does smell great, but I just found the product a bit thick and a bit too strong in terms of scent, and I think the secret to it is to just use a little bit less, because it is a great product and it's just nice to use because it smells so good. So expensive, definitely a treat. I don't think you need this, but I have enjoyed using it, so I'm putting it in my favourites. I really went off fragrance for about a year, maybe even 2 years. I feel like I really went off fragrance, and now I wear fragrance as a treat. I used to just like put on fragrance every single day. I was like, if I was going to bed, I'd just spray it on. I feel like I've always had quite a lot of fragrances, so I've never really like saved them. For a while I stopped using them altogether, and more recently I wear them much more selectively. What I have been reaching for, kind of amongst a few other things, not really actually, really I've just been wearing this. This is the Jimmy Choo, oh, I'm gonna have to link it below because I'm actually not sure what this one is called. I think it's the Parfum. It's not a groundbreaking scent, but it just smells like summer to me, and it's just, you know, like a nostalgic, comforting, summery scent. And sometimes that's exactly what I need, and this gives that to me. And so I've just really been loving it. I'm really awful at describing scents. Maybe I'll put the top notes and stuff here. It's definitely sweet, so if you don't like that, this isn't for you. I feel like nowadays people take their fragrances like too seriously, and they really try to go for like obscure smells. But sometimes I just want something that is a little bit generic but smells lovely, and that is very much this. And I mean generic in the best way. Like, there is a reason why these fragrances sell, and it's because they smell good to almost everyone. And those are my beauty favourites. Next week on TikTok, I'm going to be doing a mascara week where I try to find a new favourite mascara. This is one of them, if you want a little sneak peek. This is a tubing mascara. I'm really looking forward to it actually. I have filmed 3 of the videos that I'm going to upload next week. If you are interested, head on over there. I think I haven't yet tried the one that I think is going to be my favourite. I might leave that one for last actually, but if you are looking for a new mascara, head on over there. That's basically it for beauty. I've got 3 quick fashiony things to bring up. Number 1, these jeans. You may have seen these in my new look haul if you caught that, or even on my Instagram. Love these. These are the Adelaide New Look leopard print trousers. I've got the matching jacket, like, love that too, but these are my most reached for jeans at the moment. I've only had them maybe only like a weekish, maybe, yeah, I think a week, which doesn't seem that long to be my favourites, but I just know that I'm gonna love them. I've basically worn them every opportunity that I've had since I've had them. I must have had them longer than a week actually. Really comfortable, a bit fun. I just love them. I think they're £40 is my guess. Don't size up too much. Like if you're between a 12 and a 14 like I am, maybe go for 14, but definitely if you're a solid 12, I don't think you need to size up. But really love them. They were on 25% off, so have a little look down below because they might still be, but regardless, I really love them. In terms of shoes, I need to get a new pair of trainers. I really feel like I've been oohing and ahhing for years now as to what I want and have bought absolutely nothing. I have been wearing my Birkenstocks again. I do like them, but I just feel like they're a bit casual. The other shoe that I've really been liking are the Fit Flop ballet flats. These are so comfy. Last week I done 17,000 steps in these and they were great. They do remind me a little bit of school shoes, and it's funny because my school shoes used to kind of rip a little bit at the back. I clearly don't walk very well or very like balanced. I really like the strap across them. I think that makes it much more comfortable. I was thinking whilst wearing these, if they didn't have a strap, I think my foot would probably slide out of them quite easily, so that's nice. And often when I'm wearing trousers, that's covered anyway. They have some padding around the back, which means that they don't shred your ankles. Just generally, it's a really nice soft leather, so really like these. You can tell it maybe even from underneath. They're just a nice comfy shoe, and if you are looking for a pair of dolly shoes, I would strongly recommend these. And then last week was sunny, and I love the sunshine. I love sitting in my garden in my little vest top, and I just had to highlight the best vest top if you have a big bust. If you don't have a big bust, go for something like the Uniqlo, I think, because they're affordable and they have a little bit of support. But if you need more support than that, then this one from Bravissimo, this is Bravissimo, is the one you need without a doubt. I just think these are so good. I have the black, I have the white. I wore these loads on holiday last year and I just wear them a lot. They have a built-in bra, and it is a proper bra with an underwire, so you're like really supported. I just really like the look of these. They are expensive because bras are expensive. I think they're about £45, but if you have got a bigger bust, I really think these are worth it. Mine is a 32 FF. I'm not sure what size they go up to. I'm pretty sure they have most sizes, even if you are up there in size. Just love this. Would highly recommend if you are looking for a plain vest with a built-in bra. Okay, now onto books, and I read 6 books last month. We are on the 6th of May. I haven't read a single book in about a week, so who knows if we'll get 6 books this month. I think maybe it's unlikely. We'll talk you through 6 books that I read, what I thought about them. Annoyingly, I didn't write down my ratings because I have my phone here so I can read it. First book I finished was Blue Sisters by Coco Malors. I have read another one of her books. What's the other book that she wrote? Gosh, I should know that off the top of my head, but I don't. Oh, Cleopatra and Frankenstein. First page really did capture my attention. I'm gonna read snippets of it. A sister is not a friend. True sisterhood, the kind where you grew fingernails in the same womb, were pushed screaming through the identical birth canals, is not the same as a friendship. You did not choose each other. That really did lure me in, to be completely honest. But this book is about 3 sisters. They each live in different parts of the world, and they come back together in their family home in New York after the death of their other sister. And this book is about grief, about family dynamics, and honestly not that much happens in this book, I would say. In the same way, I don't know if people are going to hate me for this, but in the same way not that much happens in Sally Rooney's Normal People. Like that sort of book, I would say. I think at the beginning I was bored. At the end of this, I loved this book. This for me is a 5 out of 5. I think this is the best fiction book I have read this year. I just thought it was really beautiful. Coco Malors just writes really beautifully. The characters were believable. I loved it. On from that, I read this book here, Absolutely Forever by Rose Tremaine. I read this on my Kindle, that's why I'm doing this. Picture should hopefully appear here. I think I don't like reading on my Kindle. I didn't enjoy this book that much, and I don't know if it's partly because of my Kindle. I don't think it is, but I will say that I don't enjoy my Kindle. I don't know, for example, had I read Blue Sisters on my Kindle, if I would have enjoyed it as much, but I'm not sure. I do think later in the year I'm gonna have a month of just reading my Kindle because I'm gonna go away, and we'll kind of see how I get on there. I will say I'm not a Kindle girly, and I think it ruins the reading experience for me a little bit, if I'm honest. I heard someone say this is their favorite book, so I was excited to read it. I bought it on Kindle. With all these books, just quick disclaimer, I listen and read them at the same time. I think I have ADHD. I haven't been officially diagnosed yet. I just find that having two senses engage in the book, I actually can ingest it. Otherwise, if I'm just reading or just listening, my mind wanders a little bit. It's about a 15-year-old girl called Marianne, and she basically falls for an 18-year-old boy, and it's based in the UK in the 1950s. I typically love coming of age stories. I think maybe it was actually the age difference that really threw me off in this one. I know it's just 3 years, but at 15 and 18, it's a lot. It also feels a bit illegal, because I think it is illegal, to be honest, nowadays. It probably wasn't in the 50s. I just struggled a little bit with that. The ending saved it a little bit for me, because I actually think I gave this a 3 out of 5. Probably 3.5 out of 5, but for a while I was hanging out at a 2.5 out of 5. I think Rose Tremaine writes really well. I haven't read any of her other books, but I probably would consider reading them because I feel like there was potential there. I just didn't connect with it. I don't know if maybe it was just reading about someone who was significantly younger than me. I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't quite for me, I would say. I read a book off my bookshelf. It's been there for a while. This is The Rosie Project by Graeme Simsion. It's about a genetics professor who probably, I don't know if it's controversial, I don't think it is, but who is probably on the autism spectrum, and he is looking for love and essentially goes on the wife project. He's quite picky, so he doesn't want anyone that smokes, anyone that doesn't arrive on time. He ends up finding Rosie kind of by accident, I guess, and she is also on a quest of her own to find her father, and as he's a genetics professor, like, he can help with that. Now, knowing some autistic people and watching Love on the Spectrum, I don't know how believable this story is, to be completely honest. If we kind of ignore that a little bit, I thought it was just a wholesome, lovely book, which I really did enjoy. There are 2 other books in the series. I would definitely consider reading them. I'm not rushing to buy them, but if I come across them in a charity shop, for example, I would definitely pick them up. I liked reading this. I definitely looked forward to reading this. I think I gave this a 4 out of 5. Just wholesome. On to The Wake-Up Call by Beth O'Leary. I've read a few Beth O'Leary books. I've read The Flat Share. I don't know what else she writes. Let's see. I've read The Switch. I've read The Road Trip. Largely for me, Beth O'Leary books are a 4 out of 5. They're not revolutionary. I don't think she writes as well as someone like Coco Malors or Sally Rooney. I do enjoy her books. She's kind of similar, I would say, to someone like, what's her name? Something Henry. I can't remember off the top of my head. That's annoying. Maybe I'll leave her name here. Just quite light and fun books, but that is what I want often. And this book is about 2 receptionists who don't really like each other, and they work at a hotel that is potentially going to close, probably going to close. And then in lost property they find some wedding rings, which they then try to find the owners for, and they try to give them back. And also along the way they're trying to find ways kind of to save the hotel. They don't really want the hotel to close anyway. And whilst trying to find the owners of the lost wedding rings, they kind of find their own love story. Now, this was for ages a 3 out of 5 for me, because it was so predictable for about 3/4 of it. Towards the end, I enjoyed it much more. It became slightly less predictable. Admittedly, I can't remember what happened. Really annoyingly, that's just something that happens to me. I feel like sometimes I just forget the endings of books. I can't really remember. I'm like reading my notes, but I can't fully remember what happened in this and in Absolutely and Forever. Sometimes I feel like I just need my brain refreshed. But I remember like getting to the end of this and being like, oh, thank God this got a little bit better. Too basic at the beginning. Would I read another Beth O'Leary book? Yes, definitely. This was a 4 out of 5 for me. It was enjoyable, not groundbreaking, just a nice book. And then onto the best book I've read this year, and that is Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, A Therapist, Her Therapist, and Our Lives Revealed by Laurie Gottlieb. I loved this book. My cousin lent me this book because her brother walked into a, bless him, he's a teenager, walked into a bookshop and picked up a book to give my cousin for Christmas, and he picked up this book. So he bought it just randomly. Turns out he made an excellent random choice, and this truly is one of the best books I've read. This book is a memoir, and it really reminds me that I need to read more memoirs. I love a good memoir. The best book I read last year was Conversations on Love. If that's wrong, I'm gonna put the correct one here, because there was like 2 books I really loved, but one was just ever so slightly better than the other, which was also like a non-fiction. And I really feel like I need to pop back into non-fiction every now and then, although some can be not so great. Some I can really fall in love with, and this was that. So this book is about a psychotherapist, her clients, and also she starts seeing a therapist, and about that relationship too. I did go into this book without having like any preconceived ideas, and I think that sometimes that happens. I had no expectations, but I'm not typically a rereader of books, rarely. I haven't reread the book that I loved last year. I'm planning to do that, and I'm very much planning to reread this too. This isn't mine, but I really want to buy my own copy because I just want to highlight it. I just loved it. There are 2 quotes that I wrote down, which I might as well read out to you, just so that you kind of have a rough idea as to what to expect a little bit from this, and also I guess like what resonated a little bit with me. One was, peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. And then the next one is, there's no hierarchy of pain. Suffering should not be ranked because pain is not a contest. I just thought both of those were really beautiful, and generally this book is just a fountain of wisdom. Like I think I learned a lot, to be honest. Can't tell you what I learned, but throughout I just thought like, whoa, like that's such a good way of thinking about it. And I have every intention of rereading this. I don't know when. I'm kind of tempted to reread it soon, buy it, get a little highlighter and just go through and highlight it, because I really did love this. It's got good reviews and very much for a good reason. I would, out of all of these, most recommend reading this. This is Elena Ferrante, My Brilliant Friend. Unlike the other book, I went into this book with every expectation out there. I thought, oh, I found it. This is going to be the book that I love. I am not going to be able to put this down. I'm going to want to finish the series. This book is just a bit of me, exactly what I'm going to want to read. Except it absolutely was not that. I really thought this was going to be my new favourite book. I was really excited. I ordered this off Vinted because I wanted to read it as soon as possible. Sometimes I do wait around to see if I can find it in the charity shop. I didn't bother doing that. I was just desperate to find a new fiction book that I really loved. This is based in Naples, Italy in the 1950s, and it's based on 2 friends as they grow up, and it explores like their relationship, education, romance. They are poor, but it explores class, and overall I found it boring. There were a few too many non-main characters in this. My mum and Michael both say that they don't like when books have too many characters, and this for me just had too many other characters. It kind of felt like I didn't really need to remember who they were, but it was a little bit too much for me, and just overall I found this boring. So many people love this book, so I'm sure this is just a me issue, not a book issue. This is supposed to be the best romance book of the last century, something like that. This is really like a critically acclaimed book. I also spotted number 4 in the charity shop, and I thought I'm definitely going to buy that before I bought this, because this is going to be my new favourite series. I have no desire to read that. Some people on Instagram told me that they fell in love with the series after they read the 4th book. I am absolutely not reading book 2. I just think it's not for me, which is fine. I did see some other people say that they read it a second time and then they fell in love with it, but I'm also probably not going to reread this. And I think I gave this a 3 out of 5. I can't see it being higher. I just found it a bit dull, to be completely honest. And that's all the books that I've read. At the moment I'm reading, I'll put it here because I can't remember what it's called. But I just wanted to quickly wrap up by kind of sharing what I've been enjoying watching. I was going to share podcasts, but honestly, there's nothing new that I've been watching. There is actually one. I have been enjoying 5 Brilliant Things with Russell Howard. He just interviews some interesting people. It's not necessarily my go-to one, but if you are like me and kind of get through podcasts quite quickly, I do think it's a good one. Things I have been watching. Race Across the World is back on BBC One, must be BBC One surely. I just love Race Across the World. It's in Asia this season. It's not celebrity. I would highly recommend it. It's just wholesome. It's on once a week on a Wednesday. I also really like that. So if you are looking for something to watch on TV, would definitely recommend that. We of course watch Gogglebox, but actually those are the only 2 things that we really are watching at the moment on TV. But we really do love TV. It's just that there's nothing good at the moment, which is a bit annoying. I'm waiting for Taskmaster and the Traitors to come back, but I think that will be in the autumn. On from that, we've been watching Love on the Spectrum. We started that a bit on a whim, like, oh, we don't have anything to watch, like, let's just watch a bit of this, but we have been loving it. It's our go-to for like an hour watching. Actually yesterday it was bank holiday, and we watched 2 hours of that. We're supposed to do other things, but it's just a lovely, wholesome thing to watch, in my opinion. Especially if you like dating shows, but you don't like the bitchiness of a dating show, I would strongly recommend that. I've also been watching Your Friends and Your Neighbours, which is on Apple TV. I've seen some people compare it to The White Lotus. I don't think it's quite that. Yeah, been enjoying it. It's also once a week, so on a Friday. And then the other thing that I'm watching, because honestly there's just nothing I have been enjoying at the moment, so if you have got any recommendations, please leave them down below. I don't like fantasy, and I don't like anything that's like too gory. Like a little bit, is okay. Like I don't mind something if it's like police based, and the next one I'm gonna mention, but I don't want to watch something that's like just fighting basically. But I'm also watching High Potential on Disney. I do feel like there are issues with it. I was like, well, this would never happen, but if you ignore that, it's really enjoyable. And that is the end of this video. I feel like it has been a really long one, and I'm very aware that maybe 20 people might watch this, but nonetheless I enjoyed filming it, so I do hope that you enjoyed watching it. Do let me know what you'd like to see in next month's roundup, if you'd like me to talk about anything else. Oh, I'm just gonna quickly slide in one last thing. This is really miscellaneous. The other thing I'm really enjoying making is focaccia. If you want to start baking bread, focaccia is so incredibly easy. You add yeast, you add water, you add salt, you add flour. You then have to like stretch it a couple of times and then like add a bit of olive oil and then jiggle it around with your fingers, and that's basically it. So if you are looking to start baking, that's where I would start. But other than that, that is the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I think over the next month or so, I'm going to be trying a lot more beauty products. I think I might even film a try new products with me video. So if that is something you'd be interested in, let me know, because I have so many really great looking new products that I cannot wait to try. Like I said, it's mascara week over on my TikTok next week, starting on Monday. There is an £8 mascara, a tubing mascara, like an expensive mascara, like really hyped mascaras. There's a real range. Pleasantly surprised so far by most, so do head over there if that's of interest. But don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you next week Thursday. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you then. Bye.